5:35. Not sure exactly what this place is called. I'll look at it later. It's not far from home, and I'm in a little bit of a hurry, so we're going to walk here today. It's Sunday. It's the 8th, Sunday the 8th, and it's cool. This park is near a main thoroughfare, so there's traffic. So I'm into the part of glazing, and I want to talk about a different phase now. The third phase, which is Hasidim, totally Hasidim, and the main idea comes from the guest that accepts the food from the host, even though there is a certain embarrassment to accept. This humility, but the guest accepts the food, understanding that by doing so, he is giving something to the host. We want only to receive the pleasure, and that pleasure is abundant. We're programmed to receive. Why would we give? What would be the motivation to give when we can just receive and receive and receive without ever taking into account giving? According to the Kabbalah, the moment that we become aware, start questioning who I am, Where does all this come from? Why? We become aware of a higher dimension. And the higher dimension motivates us to give, because there is a likeness of form. Spiritually, we become like the Creator. So that giving becomes the desire to be like the Creator. And that is the first step. Nice, a little place to sit. Oh, looks like there's some holes here. It's not so nice to sit with nails. Cosa vedi? Eh? Well, let's say this is the first step, and there is a giving. The guest accepts the food, understands that by eating the food, he is making the host happy. So he's giving something to the host, and that is the first step. Then, as the guest becomes more and more aware of the Creator, there's another restriction. There's a restriction that comes to the giver that says, why should I be giving? And this is an interesting step, because you have a kind of a reaction, a limitation, a new limitation, a restriction, you could say. A restriction that causes the subject to question the game. I'm giving, and what I see around me is only taking. Or I'm giving, and I see that there's much more pleasure in receiving. This is so beautiful. The oleanders are like little explosions. of color and light. So this restriction is actually the Hasidim, the will to receive, the will to aso, will to give, that is enforcing Chokmah. Chokmah comes again in a new way. Not like the first time that Hasidim becomes more present. But that Chokmah is receiving, the will to receive is becoming modified. It's modified because Hasidim is more present. Uh-oh. I saw something over there. Oh, just birds. Huh. Here's another entrance. Oh, the sun's coming up over there. Oh, the smell. There's a little bit of fog, a mist. This grass is, or straw, whatever it is, it's dry and it has a smell. Maybe it was cut and now it's dead. Well, let's have a look over there. May as well. There's a little gathering place here. Another one here. Doivai. This way we can get the to some extent. There's another way to think of this. Another way to imagine what happens in this phase. Remember, we're talking about creation in general. We're not really referring to anything specific in the real world, in the material world. Everything is just the beginnings of creation, the structure. But we can understand it by there doesn't seem to be anything in here. I'm not sure there's a path that goes back there. Well, we'll see. So you have Chokmah, which is actually presented as the Sephora Chokmah, and Bina, which is represented by Chasadim, and Bina is like the mother. Ooh, that looks kind of scary. I don't think I'm going to go there. No. That looks kind of weird. Let's go down. Actually, I don't want to walk through those weeds. There's no path here. Bina is the female aspect, and Bina gives because she nurtures. She wants to give to Zain Am Pen. She wants to give to a lower entity that requests that she gives light. That's strange. There's no path that circles along here. So, Bina, which has the idea of Hasidim, is giving to her children. Bina is like the mother, nurturing and helping. And this is the reason for giving. This is the reason that the higher or more developed spiritual entity like Bina would give Because she knows that she's helping to raise the level of a lower entity. Yeah, this is the idea of love. And so this giving to the lower entity has an awareness that this lower entity will become higher. Even though we're talking about light that is cascading, is going down from Ein Sof, which is the total light, to Chokmah, receiving, Hasidim, giving. This is step by step cascading. The light is becoming more, let's say, limited each step. Even though this is an idea of cascading, of light becoming more, let's say, limited, there is also an idea of growing, because the vessel is becoming stronger and can hold more light. Hey, bud. So what's going on in the painting? We're using this phase to talk about glazing. Well, everything that we've done up to now has been a kind of a preparation. And the underdrawing, the imprimatura, all of that is in lieu of having a base on which to work with. Now that base becomes a kind of reality that we are free to really play with it, change it, modify, enhance as we wish. And so, while before there was a tension towards the plan, Here's the plan, here's how we're going to proceed. Now, the plan is less evident. There's more, let's say, freedom to mix colors like you want, to put colors on in a more spontaneous way, and yes, to also modify part of the drawing. Okay, we're gonna head out. It's early, but it's a busy day. Who's walking behind me? Must be tired. He already is. I'm not even staying to the sun. That's okay.